Good morning, guys. This is Jason Bitbender Brink, and I am here with some of the amazing people from GameDia, as well as the amazing Sally Kwan, who is the PM, who is managing Spider Tanks on the Gala side. We're here to talk and answer questions, but before we get to the talking and the answering questions part, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing pretty good. How are
Pretty
you
good
doing?
so far. Yeah.
It's good, good. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing well. I'm not dead. Let's put it that way. I have not yet perished, so I've got that going for me, which is nice.
I've seen you have a more tired face before, so
Yeah,
you look
that's
pretty good. Man.
because I have a coffee drip that starts at about 4 in the morning, and right now I'm running at the second pot, so my blood pressure is like really at a good point. You know, powered by I'm basically hydraulic at this point in time, so it's good.
Good.
We're going to be taking questions in. There you go, in the nice Gala mug. Isn't that a nice mug? Like, it's like legitimately a nice mug. That was one of the Galaverse
It's a good mug.
right?
Well, Robin and I
Water and coffee right here.
Robin
There
and
you
I
go.
disagree a bit on the Gala cup because it's made of aluminum and it scratches like you scratch on a school
Oh,
board a bit. So
that's
goosebumps.
that's not okay. And
But
and did
it's
you say
very
you
very
had
nice.
what is water, Robin? Is that the thing that you put the coffee beans in?
It is one of the ingredients of coffee. That's it.
Ah,
It's
okay.
like
It's
it's like
also
light coffee.
yeah. It's
The
also an ingredient.
water's the stuff that's what's in the toilet, right? Like, that's the same stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
right. But it's
interesting.
also in beer. So
Okay, it's an ingredient to
yeah,
beer.
yeah,
Good, good.
yeah,
Okay, it's
yeah.
it's an
So
important
it's
thing then,
useful. It's
and
useful.
makes the toilets run. So we're
True.
good.
Yeah, they're both connected, but we're not going to talk about that.
So today we're going to be taking questions in the Discord. We also have a bunch of questions that have been submitted via an awesome questions form, and so we're just going to bounce back and forth between the two of those. We're going to be taking questions in Discord at galagames.chat, and we're in the Spider Tank discussion channel. So yeah, we're here to answer your questions. I've been watching the chat going for a little bit this morning. There's a lot of cool stuff that people are doing, and people are really enjoying playing. I actually had a little message from DG 787 on Twitter about this. He's very, very happy with Spider Tanks. So you guys have done well.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we
Um,
appreciate
Thank you.
all your positive feedback.
Oh, it's fantastic, right? Like,
Yeah,
this is
Yep.
so much more fun than the average blockchain game. So you guys have
absolutely.
really, really crushed it. Um, let's just dive in. Um, well, for starters, is there anything that you guys want to talk about first before we get to the questions?
Do we have time for that? Because
Yeah,
the list
we
with
got time. We got time.
the list with questions is pretty huge.
A
The
lot.
list of
No time
questions
to
is
waste.
huge. No, I just want to make sure. What I don't want to get to like the end, and then you're like, oh, by the way, there was
Oh
this
yeah,
other thing that we wanted to do. But as long as there's not, then we'll
I'm
just
just
dive
kind of
right in.
hyped to jump into this, right? Let's go.
Let's do it. One of the things that people ask, and right now, I think that you were talking that there's basically two servers that are live and running right now, right? Two server regions, if you will. Are
yes,
you guys planning on standing up some more?
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I think this is just for during the test phase, and we want to keep most players at the same server, so it's more easy to find matchmaking. But when we open up the servers and also going into the next phase with more marketing and more user acquisitions, we need to spread that out a bit more. So
Right.
there will be a lot more servers coming in the region near you, hopefully.
Will there be game servers in Australia? ZKSK would like to know.
If you call all your friends to play spider tanks and we have gathered enough players in your region, we absolutely can run a server near you. But
There you go.
if there are too little one, too the number is too low on your side, then you have to find the nearest region to you. So it's up to you guys.
Yeah, we need all the Australian players to make a lot of noise, and then we'll
Absolutely.
just make one.
Okay, Australian players, make noise. Let's see if there are any
Make noise.
Australian players.
It's like super late over there right now,
It
right?
is.
Yeah. Well,
They
Yeah.
would be
Or-
very committed if they are watching this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's a really
Absolutely,
good
yeah.
point. I'm just looking, it'd be like 1 or 2 in the morning, right? Well, okay, so maybe
Mm,
don't make
yeah.
noise. Maybe sit quietly and perhaps take a nap.
Make
do you-
noise later on Discord. It's also fun.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you guys plan on introducing other game modes other than 3v3?
Those are pretty much 2 questions. I think we'll
Fair point. Do you other game modes and then something
Yeah.
other than 3v3? Let's do that.
Yeah,
2 questions.
exactly. Yeah, we're currently working on some new game modes already. We can talk about it a bit more.
Do you
the
have
other-
a little leak sitting on your desk, perhaps, that you would like to share and talk about the new game modes?
well,
I've
game
actually
modes,
just talked about
I
it
don't-
with
it's-
someone.
Does-
No, that's not a leak for game modes, but it's a nice picture.
Mm-hmm.
I think we shared a bit already about the game modes on Spider Friday lately, so people already know what's coming up with the game modes. We're looking for into making a defender mode where you have to protect a sort of big chicken or a big robot with your team, but you also have to engage with the opponent's version of its big chicken. So I think that's going to be a really nice strategic but also very dynamic game mode. And we have something like sort of defend the zone. So there was going to be a zone. It's going to be placed in pretty much every map which you have to protect. And we have some others as well, which we call kill confirmed. It's a bit the same like the chicken collector, but if you kill an opponent, it will drop a chicken, and you have to pick it up before their teammates do. Otherwise, it's gone, and it doesn't count as your kill. So that's why we call it kill confirmed. You have to
Interesting.
kill somebody and pick up the chicken.
Taking trophies here.
Yeah, and
There you go.
those are the 3 we're working on already, and maybe more will follow along the way. And for the other question, we're currently focusing on the 3 versus 3 only until we have enough players. It would be really fun to make other game modes as well, but the matchmaking doesn't really allow us to do it right now because we need to grow the player base at first. But a 1 versus 1 or maybe a 10 versus 10 would be awesome. Yeah,
We've
that would be
played
awesome.
we've played a bunch of 1 versus 1 matches in house here.
Yeah,
And these matches get really tense, and especially if
Yeah.
you're like the same skill level, it's super fun to play. So yeah,
super fun.
if we have a lot of players and we can split up the queues and the player base kind of, then that definitely super fun.
Yeah, super fun. I didn't talk to Robin for over a week, but it's super fun. No, it's competitive. Yeah,
I like
you,
that.
you cannot hide behind your teammates in 1 versus 1. It's just there's no excuse. If you lose, you lose.
Yeah,
So
you
that-
cannot blame it on teammates anymore.
Yeah, so I don't really like it.
So Mr. K asks in Discord, is there lore for spider tanks? Have you guys thought about that?
Yeah, we thought about this, and we worked on some lore parts, but it's going to be a bit of a secret. You have to find it for yourselves a bit.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I like. Oh,
yeah.
Robin's pointing at a
Oh.
thing.
There are some hints
What is that?
in the maps.
I don't know what that
hidden,
is.
and we're going to drop hints and secrets along the way.
Ooh, I like this.
Maybe.
I really like this as an
This is-
idea.
Maybe you can see a bit of my background here. And you can, in the new maps, which are going to be released pretty soon, there are a lot of hints on the lore.
Okay, excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
So what was the other question? Oh yeah, somebody had mentioned that individual ranking by score and region could make really cool continental teams. I think that would be neat as well. How many active what's the DAU hanging out at right now?
I thought I saw this morning it's around 1400 or something.
Okay. Okay, cool. And that is from Exhale, who I have known for a really, really freaking long time. So shout out to Exhale. Crypto fan wants to know when Mac OS X version.
Oh yeah, the Macintosh version. We've already tested it internally, like a couple of months ago, on a really old MacBook, and it seemed to work really well. And
Okay.
we didn't have any complications making it, but we're waiting for the right timing. Uh, if the whole PC game is stable and we don't need to make much adjustments or at all, pretty much it's pretty solid. Then we're gonna work on the Mac version and the Macintosh launcher. We just heard previous week that the Mac launcher on the Gala side is also pretty much done.
So Thune, I believe, is the official answer.
Soon as the game is stable, and we're pretty close to that.
Zupaw definitely would like to know about a league system.
A
And
league system.
A
yeah,
league system?
what do you guys think about a league system?
Oh,
Not a
league.
system.
Oh, league system.
Is that something you guys are thinking about?
I'm not familiar what a league system is. This
League, bronze, silver, gold, diamond with
oh yeah.
you
All
know,
right, yeah.
something like that. It's like sort of elo tiering, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely want ELO tiering pretty fast because we are noticing right now in the playtest that it's not so fair when you're playing against people that are way better than you. There's a lot of these parties that go together and they're all three just insanely good, and then you match up against it and you're just helpless.
Can
So
you
we
find
definitely
me? Like, I'd like you to look at your server logs, and I'd like you to find me like 2 other really, really lame players to put on my team. I know it's going to be really hard to find players who are lamer than me, but I think that you know, if we could put in that effort, that'd be nice.
Okay, we'll build that for you. Yeah.
How about you,
And one more.
Sally? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Robin.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I wanted to add one more thing that I do think that yeah, we will implement elo at some point, and I do think the elo rank that you're in and also the elo rank of the match that you're in should influence how much you earn as well, because I don't want people to go intentionally lower ranked and smurf to win more. That sounds pretty bad to me.
Nobody likes
So
Smurfs.
No, I think there is also a lot of questions about matchmaking, especially the last couple of
Mhm.
weeks. We turned off the matchmaking for this beta phase. Actually, I think we've turned it on a couple of days ago
Mhm.
to split the player base a bit, but we don't want to the same reason like before. We don't want to split the player base at this moment because we really want to find let people find matches really fast, so they can really play tests fast and they can upgrade their tanks. That's what this play test is more about than the previous one. But we have made a small matchmaking uh, version for right now.
yeah,
It's
that
running.
is fully based on the level of the.
Yeah.
It takes the average level of each team and it tries to match up people with kind of equal level right
Yeah.
now.
It's a very complicated system. It's very complicated to do really right. But I think we got it running really well. But it also is dependent on the user base. It's a bit too low to have a lot of players in each of the tiers on
Right.
each level.
Right.
But yeah, once this will grow, and it will that will not take too long, we expect. So
Yeah.
then the games will get more fair for people. So hanging there.
Yeah, as UA ramps up, I think that it's going to get a lot easier because you're going to have a lot more people playing.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think
Yeah.
that this is one of those things. This is what I noticed when we had Spider Tanks playing in Miami. Like people absolutely loved to play. And I think that all we have to do right now is put this in front of them and say, like, hey, come and play, and they will absolutely do so. So I think that that's going to go well. Sally,
Yeah.
is this your first AMA, Sally?
Yes, it
This
is.
is your first AMA. How do you feel?
Nervous.
Nervous? Come
Yeah.
on, come on. No need to be nervous. Everybody, let's give Sally a little bit of a applause here and some thumbs up in the chat. And yeah,
Of course.
CryptoView was
Sally.
in Miami. Sally, Minty
Sally.
Pixel, Minty Pixel.
Let's do a virtual wave. Here it comes, guys.
There we go. It worked.
There we go.
It worked. We'll call
That's
that
pretty good.
It worked
Yeah.
better than I expected.
Yeah.
So Sally, is there any questions you would like to answer that you're seeing in Discord or that you saw in the Spider Tanks AMA? Like I got to give you some screen time here.
Well, most of the questions that I can answer is about the earning features in game.
Oh, but I don't
So
think anyone cares about earning.
no,
Like
I
I
don't
think
think
that
so.
like we
They
probably
really want to
shouldn't.
know about the game content.
Probably not at all about earning. None of the questions that I've seen, actually they immediately, even like I know that there's like a 15-second lag between what we say and when it actually gets to
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
And so it's funny, like when I start talking about that, then suddenly there's questions about earning even before they've heard us say that they don't want to know about earning. So let's talk about earning, Sally. What would you like to say about that?
Oh, I will tell you this one thing. So we post this every hour, but we still get asked about this about every 20 minutes. The test silk coins do not hold value. So once this test is complete, it will be reset. I had to say that just in case.
Okay.
Because yeah, everyone still asks about that question.
I do understand.
Is there any questions on the list or in Discord right now that I can answer about earnings?
Sure. Let's go. Can upgrades be reset? It's kind of like, it's not really earnings direct, but it kind of sort of tiny bit sideways is. Will people be able to reset upgrades?
That is actually a Spider Game Media question. Robin and Ditmar's question.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. Well, currently we have our upgrade system has a reroll functionality in it, so you
Okay.
can reroll your upgrade at the moment. Besides in the Netherlands and Belgium, sorry for you guys, we're with you on this. We're actually in the Netherlands ourselves, but there's not a law for this. So there's an exception, but pretty much all other countries have a reroll system. And I also noticed some other questions about can we reset it as a wall. So if you made it to level 30, you still want to reset your tank, which I wouldn't recommend. I don't see a function for this at the moment, but we do get a lot of questions about it. So I believe that's possible to
Interesting.
even reset it to level 0 again, so you can start all over. But
We're also talking about other systems like maybe salvaging parts to like get other parts of other or resources. There's a lot of systems that other games use that we could partially implement. We're not entirely sure what we're going to end up with, but we do want something along those lines. Yeah.
yeah, but I wouldn't recommend to reset your totally upgrade tank. Just
Right.
just sell it and
Yeah.
start
The idea
over
is to
with
sell
another
it,
one.
of course. Yeah.
That's the whole idea bit.
Okay, Sally. Do you collect coins per win, or is it based on challenges? How exactly does earning work? This was asked by a person who, I think it's LJ Tally. I don't know LJ
So
Tally.
there is a different type of ways to earn. One is if you have a map, for example. If you just win one match collectively, however many maps you have right now, kind of gives you that earning after that one match is won. But this will definitely change in the future.
Okay.
We are working on, like, say, a more interactive way for you to use your maps in order to collect earnings. But this is
Okay.
the current system that we have right now.
So this is
In
like
terms,
the MVP version.
yes, correct,
Okay.
right. But with tanks, it's every type of tank that you play. So it's not a collective uh, earnings. You have to play that tank in order, or weapon or body, in order to have earnings for that specific tank.
Okay. Okay. Um. hmm. So how many matches are played per day? Do you think? Do you know?
I
I
don't know.
just checked that
Yeah.
today. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
just
Robbie.
checked that today. So, the last week there were about 12,000 matches played in this last week from this day till last
Okay.
Thursday or Wednesday, depending on where you are.
Okay. So it's a
Um,
couple thousand matches a day, somewhere
yeah,
in that neighborhood.
but
That's
we
pretty
want that
cool.
number to go up. We
Much,
want more
obviously.
Right.
data.
Tenfold, hundredfold,
The hundredfold. Do you have? And that
millionfold.
was actually a question that somebody asked earlier. Are your servers ready for scaling? Like if this goes insanely viral tomorrow, are you guys ready for that?
Well, we've done a lot of scalable projects in the past. We've done a lot of scalable projects for TV shows, which will go up from 1 to a couple of million in a couple of seconds, and that went well. So I guess we will be ready for a more gradual increase in numbers. And we got Justin on this team, so I feel confident. I can
Nice.
go to sleep at night.
You can sleep at night. Good.
Yeah.
That's nice. None of us get to sleep at night. It's terrible. We haven't slept in months. So this is a question for Toffa. Will you be able to sell your upgraded tank?
You will be able to sell your tanks, but the upgrades will not come with it. Um,
Not
but
initially, at least.
not initially, but in the future, we are talking about how we can integrate both upgrades and tanks to sell in the future. But that feature is not available right now.
Just a just more distant future. Although I
Yes.
so I could man, I would share this video, except I'd probably get in trouble. But it's somebody sent me a video this morning of tokens being passed back and forth rapidly across the bridge between Geary and ETH. So it's pretty neat. So that future, which once felt distant, is much closer than I think many people think. Um, let's see, what other questions were there from here? Robin, can you smile? Spider Duke would like to know.
I never smile.
Never.
Okay,
Never.
I do.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But it just occurred to me that
You always
Spider
get me,
Duke
man.
actually works with you. So
Yeah, that's
that's
Minna. He's he's one of my favorite artists. I'm not gonna say favorite because I get into fights with the other artists. But
Hendrickson
Yeah.
has a great
he's a
question.
really cool guy.
Oh, sorry.
The smiling question came from the Korean AMA we done, I think previous year,
Oh yeah.
and we didn't understand a bit of what they were saying. So after half an hour, were doing other stuff besides the AMA as well. So we looked a
We're
bit
just
serious.
working.
We're just working, and
I love those AMAs where I'm not actually talking, but I am still here on camera, and then I'll be like in Gala Gold chat, like having a flame war with somebody, and so I'll be like
yeah.
like this while everybody else is talking and laughing, and then I get made fun of for that. But Hendrickson has a question: will we be able to upgrade common tanks to uncommon? Upgrade them to uncommon. Or will it be just not a rarity level, but a tank level upgrade?
Who's going to
No,
Ruben or I? Yeah,
I'll
Ruben?
take it. Rarity is a label that will stay the way it is. So if you buy an uncommon, it will always stay an uncommon. It doesn't mean you cannot get it as strong as an ancient, even if you make sure you only get perfect upgrades up to the max level. You can be just as strong as an ancient. The only difference is the rarity label, and that does influence earning, and it also
Right.
does influence, of course, the in-game model, because the legendary and ancient models have different effects and cool, uh, cool things on it. So
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
it.
Okay. So this is a couple questions from Mr. K, and maybe we can't answer this question, but I think one of the big things that people wonder about in this space is, will there ever be a whole bunch of people that want to play this game? Okay, or is it going to be just this little tiny itty bitty community forever and ever and ever? So what I would like to do, if at all possible, and maybe this is a Sally question, is what are your thoughts on user acquisition, Sally? Is that a thing that's going to happen? Is there a marketing budget for that?
Well, we have May Mayhem coming up,
Oh,
and we are definitely working on trying to drive a lot of players coming in. In terms of marketing, yes, we are. So we're in testing phase right now, and I think someone is asking what UA is. So let me answer that question. It's
oh God!
user acquisition.
Please answer the question. They're going to do the thing they did the other day. Oh, that was terrible. It was
So
like 4 hours of just like guesses about what the letters U and A stood for.
Oh
Like
man.
unacceptable acrobats. It just went forever. Um,
So
so
UA stands for user acquisition, is how do we attract users coming into Spider Tanks? And we do have a marketing plan. I know you've seen a lot of advertisements for others. We do have it prepared for Spider Tanks, but right now is not the right timing. Only if we drive a lot of players in, all they will see is test coins, and we don't want them to see that. We want to make sure that the game is live and running well before we actually invite players in to avoid confusions, especially if this is the first time they've seen Spider Tanks.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But don't
It-
expect a photo on Times Square of Robin and me and Sally.
well, I think that would be nice. I mean, you could do like one. Yeah, there you go. Just do that. Do that. A bunch of that, Robin. That's a great
What
idea.
was the
I like that.
Korean?
Can we take a
I was the
screenshot of that?
Korean.
The hearts, the hearts. You got to get the hearts.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
hearts.
hearts,
Yeah.
Ditmar.
Yeah.
It's very simple. There you go.
Oh yeah,
Hearts.
yeah. I was forgetting about it, but it's the hearts. It's like this.
Come on,
Yeah.
everyone do hearts so that somebody can screenshot this. Okay, now somebody screenshot this. There you go. Hopefully they
Here
got
you
that.
go. Yeah.
Okay. And that's for our Korean community. We want to make sure that there's lots and lots of hearts there. Um, one of the things that I'm really excited to see is how this user acquisition rolls out. I know that you guys have seen you've seen Vox in Times Square. Fuzzles have currently invaded Times Square right now, and well, there was a portal malfunction, and some of them weren't able to make it to our universe. Hopefully, that portal will reopen because a lot of people are hearing about that. I can't wait to see like full-fledged user acquisition rollout for Spider Tanks. It's going to be absolutely epic. So you're going to see lots and lots and lots of people coming in hearing about Spider Tanks. So that's going to be very good. Awesome. Oaks
Yeah.
got it. Thank you.
It's also,
Thank you,
I think
Oaks.
the game is very open for everybody to play. So it's not a real hard game to get into. So we're expecting to get a lot of people to come in and try it out and
Yeah.
to enjoy it.
Someone else asked if there's going to be a referral program too, and the answer is yes. There's also a referral program as well.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is
I
this is
refer
one of the
Robin.
you'll refer Robin. You
Yeah.
guys can't refer
One-
each other.
No, no,
It's-
no.
Damn it.
I don't want to play that
Split it.
game, man. No.
One of the things that came out of the one of the things that came out of the whole leadership offsite over last week was the fact that people really wanted to see some form of referral structure come back. And so I've been working with some of the engineers and some of the people who were very effective referrers in our previous referral programs, the Founders Node Reward programs and things like that, to come up with something that will absolutely drive users and re-engage that community in a much better way than they were previously engaged. So, look for that here before too terribly long. Garrison and a bunch of other people would like to know how rarity will affect earnings and matches.
I guess I can answer that. So rarities, well, depending on what type of rare tank you have, there is a certain power level, I guess, that will definitely affect matches. For example, ancient, of course, is the most powerful one, and as you level it up, it will be the most powerful. There is some rewards that actually attribute to that, so
Okay.
it definitely will help in long run for your matches, both earning wise and power wise.
Okay. And does that matter with maps as well?
With maps right now, it does not. Well, yes, for earnings, yes, you do gain more with higher rarity maps, but
Yep.
in terms of power level and how you can set it up to have certain tanks, that is not currently in this release at the moment, but it's definitely something that's coming up in the future.
Okay. Will there ever be a system of renting individual parts? Like, I want to rent this body, I want to rent this weapon. Is that a thing that you're thinking of? And that's from Coat Hanger, asked a question.
Yes, definitely. There's been once leasing system comes out, we will have the final you know uh, version of it,
Right.
but we have had a lot of ideas coming up. Um, some of it being you're able to lock parts, some of it being that it will be randomized, and you'll have to get whatever tank you get once you click the leasing button. But again,
Right.
the details are not finalized yet for us to say what is going to be part of the leasing system.
Okay. Um, I like that. Now I'm going to take some questions from the Korean community, which are probably for the most part asleep in bed, but they asked us questions in advance, and I want to make sure that we get to some of those. One of them, and I do not have a username attached to this, I am sorry, worries about the fact they feel that there are too many hero tanks. And they're not that they're worried that with so many hero tanks that the value of those hero tanks might be diluted. Do you guys mind if I take a stab at that?
Sure.
Of course, go ahead.
Okay, so this is my view on the quantity of available items and NFTs. Right now, everybody is looking at everything from the perspective of a small community blockchain game. Okay, with a few thousand players. Okay, and so you have hero tanks. For example, how many chicken tanks are out there? Do you guys have any numbers on that? Do you recall?
Uh,
It's not many.
it's not many. No, if you have
Yeah.
one,
So you have
pretty good.
a chicken tank or a shark tank or any of
Yeah.
these things. Um, if you look at this from the perspective of 2,000 players, then yeah, it seems like there's a whole lot, right? But if you look at it from the perspective of like 5 million daily active users playing 50 million matches a day, okay, like if you have a Snoop tank or if you have a spider tank that is the pumpkin one with the Brambler, which is one of my favorites, the jack-o'-lantern, I believe is what we called it. Like if you have something like that and there's literally millions upon millions of people who are playing, you roll in there like a god. Okay, you show up with your chicken tank and everyone's like, oh oh my God, it's a chicken tank. I haven't seen one of those. I knew that they existed. And then you completely wreck them and then laugh all the way back to your golden chicken coop. So don't worry so much about that, because this is designed specifically to be an entirely next level gaming experience in the blockchain gaming space. You are going to see levels of users here that I think you have never seen in any other blockchain based game before. I think Spider Tanks is absolutely going to crush the DAU numbers of every single blockchain game up until this point in time. So
Yeah.
don't worry so much about that.
Absolutely, no worries. And we eventually we will need more tanks, because what we need more players,
right? Yeah.
and they need tanks to play with. So eventually we really need other tanks as well. Right now, also you've seen some new tanks being tested out in the latest phase, like the brain damage thing. I think we're gonna need to make clear it's not going to be released from the beginning, but I think we have to make some sort of a roadmap for it as well, so you guys
Right.
know when it's going to be released eventually, but it's going to be not going to be right away.
I have this this idea from one of the Korean members. And again, I really wish I had the ability to like attribute this to a name. So 안녕하세요, whoever it was that submitted this question, thank you for submitting it. They want like a practice arena for them and their team. Doesn't have any earning, just has the ability for you to go in and practice with your team. What do you guys think of that?
I'll take this one. Yeah, we definitely want a way to make private matches soon. Not only for people to practice, but also if we move on to esports, it is a way for people to scrim against each other or even host tournaments. And I want these private matches to have functionalities like making sure that every tank level is the same level or not. You have a choice in that. Choosing game mode, of course, choosing map. Maybe even like increasing the time or increasing the amount of points you get for a kill, or those kind of modifiers. Yeah, it should be yeah, it should be very useful for all kinds of reasons. But yes, these private matches will not affect earning in that way. You cannot go into a match against your friends and then say, "Hey, I win now," and then I earn, and then you win, and then you earn. Of course, you cannot do that. That's why we still need normal matchmaking. But once we have finished this silk transition, I kind of do want to focus on more esports kind of things, and private matches are a big part of that.
Yeah, actually, it's already being tested out, and some people already use it for their esports tournaments over the weekends. So it's already there.
Right.
But
Right.
a tiny version of it.
Tiny
we
version.
have currently a very secret kind of way to play against each other anyway.
Yeah, but we don't.
Wait, hold on. Is it a secret way that exists in the build that they have right now?
No, of course
Okay.
not. No.
But it's
We would
also
never do that.
it's also something we not encourage people to play it right now, because otherwise the matchmaking will fail again, because everybody's playing against their friends and nobody finds each other anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
And just
but if you're a tournament host right now and you want to have a tournament against you want to host a tournament, to definitely hit one of us up, because we might be able to help you out.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's you guys are going to start getting lots of DMs now. So
Don't DM me.
just leaning in a little bit on some of these the comments people are saying, like, oh, it's just scary to see that we don't have the users yet, and there are these hero tanks and we don't have the users, and God, we're afraid that there isn't going to be enough and things like that. Like, guys, just wait until the user acquisition actually kicks in. This is one of those things that has to happen at the right time. If it doesn't happen at the right time, that's bad. You only get a chance to make a first impression with a game once, right? Cyberpunk 2077, I played for like 5 minutes and then it crashed, and I haven't touched the damn thing yet. And I'm sure that they patched it, but I'm, like I just haven't gone back to it because I don't have time. So this is one of those things that, once this kicks in, I think you guys are going to be absolutely floored at the momentum that you see picking up. That's my hope, because this is a legitimately super fun game, even if I completely totally suck at it. For that, I apologize. Will there be a more competitive matchmaking system at some point in time in the future, like where you can, determine your map and you can select your team, perhaps, like set different criteria, for example? Is that a thing that you guys are thinking of?
Yes, but again, not at this time, because it's with the matchmaking and with the user group again. So we don't want to split them up.
Right.
But it's a possibility, and it's a bit in between private matches and a more flexible way to select your favorite game modes. For example, some people don't really like the chicken modes, for example, and they just want to play the death match. So I think if we have enough players, that would be certainly be a possibility.
Yeah. And I want to add on that we wouldn't want to build something that would influence map owners. So if we would build something that so the users can select their own map, we don't want any map owner to be negatively influenced by that.
Yeah,
So we will of course think about map owners when we make these decisions.
yeah. And to add on that, it's also very complicated to keep that in mind to make new functionalities for the game. But we always keep in mind our uh, you guys, uh, our supporters from the very beginning, and we don't want to ruin that relation with you guys.
Right. Right. Ricola would like to know a little bit about earning potential, versus like common versus, whatever other tiers, do we have a multiplier on that? I mean, I know that I've seen some of the preliminary economics papers on this. Is that a thing that you want to go in on, or no? I'll leave that to Sally, maybe.
That one we definitely want people to figure out on their own. We
Okay.
have discussed internally, should we give out these numbers or should we not? And we decided no, they're gonna figure it out. So we're gonna let them figure it out. Is what our stance is at the moment.
Okay. They would like to have a UI that shows historic wins, games played for day per day for tank owners, map owners. I think that sounds pretty interesting.
Yes.
And yes, every time I say the name Ricola, I think of those dudes with the giant horn on the mountain. That is
Yep, me too.
totally, like,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that's like a '90s kid thing, right? Like
Yeah.
if you grew
Yeah.
up in the '90s, that was a thing that you saw on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Ricola. Love it.
Yeah. I love that
And
commercial.
and Anthony Ra, yes, you need to figure out some of the tokenomics for rewards. That's like part of the fun of this entire thing. If we just give you a paper and say, like, you know, turn this crank, out comes a certain amount, like, you guys are playing a game. And I think that's the really, really important thing here, is that this is a game first. Okay. This is not necessarily a job. This is not a, turn crank, money come out, go burr machine. This is a game. You're going to have to get in there and play and win. You're going to have to actually be good. We want this to be something that, uh, you know, people can actually play and enjoy, and has a very solid skill component to it as well. So yeah, Galax is not fun. Is not fun. I disagree. So I think there's a lot of people who do think it's fun. Let's
I think
see.
one of the most common questions maybe I can answer right now based off of people's uh
Sure.
questions here is earnings based on the account level, how much you own versus how much you play. I will answer that it is based
Sure.
off of what type of tanks you play. So it's on an item level and not on a account level. So it doesn't matter how much you own, it's how much you play.
Okay. So there you go. it is play based, and then as the rental system kicks in, it'll still be play based. It'll just be based on someone else's play, which I think is cool. Okay, let's see. Anything else? I'm glad you like the AMA so far, Mr. K. We aim to please. Any plans to introduce customizable skins? This is another question from the Korean community. What do you guys think of the concept of customizable skins?
Yeah, I think we talked about it a long time ago already. It was a possibility. And I do think we had some contacts in that area as well already, or some special functionality. I kind of forgot about the status of this, but maybe Robin knows a bit more. He remembers more than me.
Yeah, there were some more pressing issues in between, but yeah, we do have a whole the system that we have to create skins is pretty cool and customizable. So yeah, we do want the ability to create custom skins. We were even talking about selling skins that you buy it first, and then you can get into contact with us, and we will make the skin that you want. You could put, I don't know, your logo on there. We can make it animate. We can make it glow. We can whatever you want. We
Yeah, and best
up
part,
to a certain point, of course.
you can choose your own statistics up to a certain point.
Yeah,
it has to be fair, but
so yeah, and
Go ahead.
sorry. To add on that, it would also be cool to have custom skins for user acquisition. For example, if you work together with a company that has a lot of users, and you can make a skin for that company. I don't know, McDonald's. You want some skins in our game? Call Tipmar. No,
no.
not McDonald's, but you know what I mean. We can do a lot there, and also for esports teams, it would be really cool to have like custom logos and stuff on their skins for
That would be
matches.
cool.
Nice. I like that. And guild skins, I think, is a good potential thing there as well. Now I really hesitate to ask this question. Maybe I shouldn't ask this question, but I'm just going through our question list from the Korean community, and I'm just gonna put a screenshot of this in the chat. You guys can look at it. This is the question that I'm seeing. And what is Project Souls? 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 I'm not going to say that a bunch of times, but do you guys want to go into that, or is that a thing that we shouldn't discuss? I'm scared because I don't actually know, but that level of passion worries me.
Project Souls is a super secret project right now, to the point where the people here in this group doesn't even know what it is except for me. There is. I will not say
holding
yes.
out on us. You're holding out on us, Minty.
I am, but I will definitely tell you this project will definitely drive in a whole lot more of players than we have had within our platform. So it's an expansion of some sort. That's all I will say. Or maybe it's tanks with shoes. Who knows? But no, it's not. But maybe it is. No.
I see
No, but it is
shoes in the chat.
It is definitely an expansion. It's a greater reach than what we had in terms of user acquisitions. How about that?
Okay.
And that is something that we are definitely working on, and we are very excited, and we hope that maybe it will be coming soon.
I like it. And just to answer Biblos 42, is Gala Power going to get implemented? Yes, there will be an element of Gala Power. Everyone wants you to tell them, Sally. They just want you to just like say, but I don't think you're going to.
Yeah, me too. I also want to know.
Yeah,
there is an embargo. I cannot say it because of that. I'm sorry. So
okay.
yes.
Okay. Oaks from the Gravy Gang Guild would like a gravy tank.
Hi, Oaks.
I think that like Oaks plays a lot. like Oaks and the Gravy Gang Guild in general play a lot. And you know, if you were to have like a meatloaf and gravy tank, I think that would be pretty cool.
Something
Yeah,
with
if you make
flames.
a really cool drawing or like fan art of a gravy tank, we might consider it. I
There
would
you
like to see
go.
that.
No, they have some creative people in their group. So there you go. And Ed777, it's on the roadmap. That's how the person knew how to ask the question. And I'm skipping, I don't know, probably 20 questions that are all, you know, tied to this concept of souls. Okay, will upgrades for parts, upgrades of tanks and parts consume silk? Anyone?
Anyone?
Upgrades, tanks, parts consume silk?
Yeah.
Yes, when
Yes.
silk is released.
Yes. When that, well, obviously, I mean, clearly. Oh, they actually already have art of gravy and tanks, like a tank with a biscuit on it from Gamer Zone.
Oh,
Very
I see.
nice.
Oh yeah, that looks good. We just need the flea, and we need a biscuit and some gravy. Yeah.
Okay, so coat hanger, let me clear something up. Okay, I don't necessarily have the entire roadmap in my head, so I might say something like just with my finger words that is incorrect, and the roadmap, like the team can correct me on that. Like, please feel free. So if it says one thing on the roadmap and I happen to disagree, that's possibly because I have not read every single roadmap in detail and do not remember all of them based on these conversations. Honestly, I show up at AMAs and I learn things too. So
We're here to
okay,
inform you as well.
I did
exactly,
casually
right?
put it under future development, so
Yeah. No,
yeah.
you did, but it's like this week, man. This has been.
Yep.
I was saying I just got off a big long call with another large entity, and I told them that this feels very much like Monday Part 4.
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm still wearing the same Batman shirt I was wearing yesterday. So that's where we are right now. I have a sick wife and a slightly sick child, so you know, reading is not a thing that's happening right now. Okay. I hope I cleared that up, Garrison, for you. So anyway. Okay, guys, is there anything else that we want to cover? We've got a few minutes left. Oaks is sharing scary gravy pictures in chat. Oh my god.
That gravy chicken.
That is so disturbing. I am
Horrifying.
so disturbed by that gravy chicken.
I don't know. I like it. I think we should put it exactly like this into the game, right?
I can't stop.
There could be a skin for the gravy chicken.
There we go. Okay. Okay, I like the Snoop all gravy. That's better. Anyway, awesome, guys. Is there anything else that you guys want to cover? I got distracted by the gravy chicken.
Yeah.
Anything? Anything?
There
Oh, I think we should show Ditmar's background.
Oh, should we show Ditmar's background?
Shall I move away?
Oh my God, what is that?
What
That
is
is
it?
it. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's broken.
It's a broken chicken tank. I actually do need that background though.
With
Like,
gravy or without gravy?
You're gonna have to without gravy. That's amazing. Like, you guys always have the coolest art. Like, I absolutely love the stuff that you guys
Shout out to
create.
our artists. They're amazing.
Like,
Tom,
that's
Falco, Lucas,
absolutely freaking cool. Like,
they're
I would
amazing.
print that
Isa,
out and hang it on my wall.
Yeah, those guys are amazing.
It's so sad.
Everybody.
Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up. And thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned. There's going to be lots more coming about the upcoming full release of Silk and Play to Earn for Spider Tanks and all of that. So stay tuned, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Peace out.